In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this lovely birdhouse gourd that I grew a couple of years ago into a birdhouse that birds can and will actually use. These birdhouse gourds were in my garden in 2024, and this one I turned into a birdhouse last year. So this is what it looks like, having been outside in the summer and the winter, just as is. Now you can paint these, many people do, they can make them really quite beautiful. It's kind of beautiful the natural way as well, I think. No birds were harmed in the making of this video. It was vacant when I brought it inside, but I wanted to let you see how well it is holding up. It's nice and solid, there are no soft bits. This is ready for me to put out again. Now this birdhouse gourd, I made last week, and this is kind of what it looks like when it's fresh. Still the same solid, like plywood, or you know, that particle board. That's kind of what it's like, except it's not. It's just the gourd, and this is ready to put out as well. So today we're going to make one with this third of my 2024 birdhouse gourds. So the first thing that you need to do is make sure that your gourd is ready to turn into a birdhouse. So you can't just pick it off the vine and then turn it into a birdhouse immediately. It has to cure. You have to keep it in a fairly dry, usually dark is a good place, where it's going to, over time, harden and turn into this brown. When I harvested this, it was a pale green, starting to go a little bit on the yellow-brown side, but then it turned into this, quite yellow-brown color with these circling patterns of mold over top. Now this mold is just superficial. It's not a problem for the gourd itself. You can tell that when you have your gourd because there are no soft spots. The integrity is good, but this superficial stuff will be there, and that's on kind of the waxy coating that's on the gourd. And most people say you should be scraping off that waxy coating and the mold with it, which is what I do. It gets rid of the mold. The staining is still there, but it doesn't really come back. And then you can also paint your gourd to protect it if you like that stylistically. It can be a pain to scrape off that waxy coating as well. I recommend try to soak the gourd if you can. It's hard because it will float. And then take something that's really firm, like a plastic scraper or even an old credit card if you like. Not a current credit card because chances are good it will wear down the credit card. And just go at about a 45-degree angle, scraping it maybe with a little bit of running water or just dipping it in water as you start to get it off. The next thing you need to do is decide what kind of bird you're building your gourd birdhouse for. Now in my area, chickadees and nuthatches like an opening that's between 1 to 1.5 inches around, and I really like making birdhouses for them, so that is what I'm going for. And if you read online, there'll be lots of birdhouse specifications for how high up the birds like the hole to be. When you're dealing with a birdhouse gourd, however, the shape isn't flat like a normal constructed birdhouse would be, so you more want to think about what way that hole is facing. You don't want it to face up to the sky, you don't want it to face down to the ground. You want to be able to line it up so that it is facing straight out so the birds can go straight in and straight out. That's what they like to do. And then the other part of it is you need to know where, in terms of elevation, birds like their houses to be, and hang or nail or somehow affix your birdhouse gourd at an appropriate height. So for this one, I'm going to just hold it from the side here, and we're going to decide where to put our hole. You're just sort of thinking, okay, where's going to naturally kind of point outwards? I could probably go anywhere around it because this is a pretty symmetrical one. So let's just pick right kind of in the middle right here. I'm going to just mark that with a pencil. Other holes that you're going to need are some drainage holes at the bottom, and that's just so that moisture isn't going to get stuck in here. It's less likely for it to rot quickly, and also means that your birds aren't going to drown in a puddle if you get a deluge of rain. 3 to 5 little holes, just like I have in this one, we'll be adding that as well. And then depending on how you want your birdhouse gourd birdhouse to sit in the environment, I like to put 2 little holes at the top just so that I can hang it with some string. So let's pause and look at what equipment we need now that we know where we want to put our holes. I'm using a drill. I would recommend a drill. And I'm also using this, what's it called?
Hole saw.
Hole saw. It's nice to have a husband with tools, not to be too cliche, but it is a little cliche. So this hole saw is, I think it's 1 1/4 inches. It is. It's 1 1/4 inches, which is just perfect for my chickadees or nuthatches who like the 1 to 1 1/2 inch size hole. Different resources will tell you different things. We're using one that's really quite local to our area. So find something about the birds that are in your area before you begin. Then I've got a bigger drill bit for the holes in the bottom because they need to be big enough for water to drain out, but not so big that the bird will fall out. A really fine tip for the string so that I can hang it. And then I've got my string, and I've got a chopstick just to get the seeds out, and my eye protection. So that's all, let's go. Oh. Get these ones just a little bit out of the way here. Now, it does like to go a little bit crazy for me for the holes, but we'll just, let's start with this. Do you know what? It's really small. Let's start with the hanging holes first. Okay, so if my X is there, then my hanging hole should go about there and there. I can make little marks for that too. There, and about there. You could measure this. I don't think it's going to make a difference, so I'm just eyeballing. Sure it goes all the way through there. Nice and slow. Other side. 90 degrees. Good. Just want to make sure it's straight through to the other side if I can, because I'll just make it easier to thread in my string. All right, and you could mark in the bottom if you want to. I don't think I need to. Again, nice and slow. Whoop, fast out. I like 3. Whoops, right about there. There we go. And if it hangs, yeah, they're low enough that water will drain out. Good, good. Now the big one. So this just clips right over top. Like that. Whoa. Okay. This is the tricky one. Where's my axe? Getting my hand well away. And once you get down to this level, you can reverse it a little bit if you need to sort of score it. Let me see how I do. If I need to, yeah, I think I need to do that. So put the drill, so it's going to go in reverse. Score it for a second. Okay. Scoring it a little bit more. Now I'm going to put it back to forward and hope that does it. Yep. Woo! All right, we did it. Woohoo! Now we've got our hole. And some people will take some sandpaper and go around the hole to make sure that there aren't rough edges. The edges aren't that rough anyway. The birds live in nature. I'm not that precious about it. Move that there. I do take my chopstick at this point because right in there are all the seeds that are also cured and perfectly ready to plant again. So just sort of scrape around. Anything you leave behind, the birds can use as nesting material. So this is more for me than for them. It does give them a bit more space too, though. Start to pull out. Inner bit. Yeah, here are the seeds. They just look like that. Get that out of the way. Piñata. I bet if you didn't want this to be a birdhouse, you could actually just make it into a piñata and then seal up the hole. Huh, another idea. You can look in and see if there's any big bits that are still there. Okay, I did say you didn't have to be too precious about this, and now I'm feeling rather completionist about it, but I'm going to stop there. Okay, last step, optional step, is to put the thread or the string, I'm going to use this piece of twine, through the holes that we created at the top. Now to do this, I have been lucky before with these. In my first one, I remember I was lucky, and in similar projects, to be able to just thread it through. So let's try that. I don't think it's going to work this time. So what you can do, if you have a twist tie, which I have right here, then you can sort of make a little loop, because this, no problem, will be able to go through, almost no problem. Oh, I spoke too soon. If you run into difficulty here, you can put your drill bit on again and try to connect those two holes. Ideally not going the whole way, but just there might be something, you know, some innards of the gourd that are in my way here. So let's try that. I'm going to okay, so through one, just aiming towards the other one without going the whole way, and the other way. Did that, oh, don't fall, it was on a seed. Did that help? Yes. Okay, twist tie through. So now I'm going to take my twine, which is getting christened over here, and just overlap the two pieces like this, and I'm going to make a little loop with the twist tie so that it's going to stay attached to the twine. Little twist like that. And now when I pull my twist tie, it should pull my twine through. So let's see if it works. Perfect. Okay. Now we have a birdhouse ready that I need to put up in a tree or in a high place about 7 or 8 feet above the ground. Should make my little birds happy. And they can shelter in here for the next foreseeable future. Now, if you made the hole too big, you might make it big enough for a predator or a squirrel or something like that. If you make it too small, the birds won't go in. So do pay attention to the size of hole that the birds in your area want. But otherwise, it's hard to mess this up. However your garden grows, keep growing as a gardener.